Found this post to be very interesting from an independent game developer, which is lamenting the fact that he is overwhelmed by the increasingly militant wokeness in online game developer community. So, in other words, very moral busybodies that try to control what you think and, more importantly, what you say and create. He feels isolated. I'm sure that there are plenty of apolitical or sympathetic people on these Discord servers and subreddits, but it's made very clear that these are firmly left-leaning controlled spaces, and that the people who out themselves as non-sympathizers will be harassed and potentially banned. In other words, they will be persecuted. It's to the point where half of the people's and all of the power users' Discord names include him. And since the start of July, it's become a common meme amongst admins to mock and often issue ban warnings to people asking why their icon is still in Pride Month. I know it's kind of a silly in a way, but I just feel like I'm deep into this territory where the majority of people hate me for what I privately believe about the woke movement. Finding how to these people questioning why the game engine's icon has to be a rainbow forever is denying the humanity of the LGBTQI plus movement. But their militant rhetoric couldn't possibly make anyone else feel genuinely uneasy and welcome. Kind of a pointless rant, I acknowledge, but I kind of just need to feel that I'm not completely alone here. Where are the chill, non-woke game developers? So, in other words, the propaganda that progressive people are pushing is working. You have to understand the propaganda from these militant people that you are talking about is not meant to persuade you of their point, is to make you feel alone and isolated. It's also interesting to point out how the progressives manage to control spaces. They're not interested in persuading people, they are interested in obtaining positions of power. In other words, they go to a community and then they use the various tools they have available in order to achieve power. So they will accuse the community of istophobia, whatever is the flavor of the day. Whether it's sexism because the video game has big boobies, racism because the video game doesn't have enough black character, so on and so forth. And eventually, the community will be like, okay, enough, what do you want us to do? And they will be like, give us power, make us moderators, and we will fix the problems for you. And once they achieve moderator status, they start persecuting people. And this is why when you go into these spaces, you view them as left-leaning, because all of the people that spoke out got banned. I actually do know a left-leaning person that's in a corporation, and the way that she explains things is that she is not interested in convincing people when she wants to change corporate culture. She just needs to convince one person, the CEO. So if you convince the CEO of your point, then everyone gets a letter saying, we at the company strongly believe that blah, 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 without actually talking with people. So this is the tactic that they use. They get control over moderation, over the positions of power, and then they enforce it. Now, if you look at any single place that doesn't have left-leaning moderators, you will see that by definition it becomes anti-woke. Like most of the places online which don't have specific left-leaning moderation becomes anti-woke. This is why they say that without moderation things devolve into fascism. Unironically, they claim this, that without creating safe spaces, things devolve into fascismus. In other words, it goes against their ideology. That's what they understand by fascism. So capitalism is fascism because capitalism isn't controlled by the militant progressives. Another thing with the pronouns, he, him. They use it as identifiers, the same way Christians use crucifixes around their necks to identify each other. So, in the Bible, it doesn't mention anywhere that Christians should use crucifixes around their neck. Just like the science doesn't mention that you need to use pronouns in the bio in order to make transgender people feel more safe. They lie to themselves that is why they do it. They do it so that they can identify that they're part of this clique. They're part of this in-group. Naruhodo? So when you're mocking their pronouns, it's exactly like you would mock a Christian's crucifix. And the reaction is literally the same. The Christian gets angry, gets upset, like you're mocking their entire way of life. You're mocking their entire ideology. So when you mock the pronouns in the bio, that's what you're accomplishing. You're basically invalidating their ideology. So this is why you're saying they deny the humanity. Because they believe that decent human beings are part of the left ideology. In fact, they want to create this image that only the progressive ideology exists and anything different is evil. So when you're mocking the pronouns, you're actually saying that they are evil people because you're making fun of their ideology. Now, another tactic that they use is they create very thick terms of service, which are very ambiguous in nature. And once they do that, if they notice that a person disagrees with them, they start going through their history. They start trying to find anything problematic that they have said at any point in the past. And then they use that to justify that the entire person is related to that one phrase. So if you ever said something racist once, even 5 years ago, even if it was a joke, they will then analyze your entire human behavior and they will consider, well, he said this N-word in a rap lyric 5 years ago. Clearly, they are a raging racist, so they need to be banned. If that doesn't work, if they go and they look into your past and they can't find anything problematic, as they say, they will try to antagonize you. They will try to get into debates with you in order to get you angry, in order to finally say something that they can justify to ban you, because that is the purpose, right? This is why apologizing doesn't work. They want you to apologize so that you confess your guilt, so that then they can ban you. And this is only if they care, right? Because if it's on a Discord server or a forum, they'll just ban you for no reason. They can just do that. But to answer your question why there are so many leftists, it's by design. It's kind of like if you go to Kotaku's forums. Kotaku has a forum. And when you go to Kotaku's forum, you'll notice that every single comment is positive towards the article. And that doesn't really make sense, because even in my videos here on YouTube, I still have negative comments. On every video, there are people that disagree with me, and this is normal. This is healthy. However, on Kotaku, you don't get to see that. Why? Because the forums are moderated. Every single person that says something negative is immediately removed, and only the positivity remains. So if you see a place that has only leftists, as well as if you were to see a place that has only right-wingers, it's usually due to the fact that there is moderation in favor of one ideology or another. A normal, healthy place would have a diverse array of ideologies. You'd have left-leaning people, right-leaning people, unless, of course, the forum is particularly catered to left-leaning ideology or right-leaning ideology, right? Like, you're not going to have many Republicans on a Democratic forum. That's fine, right? But either than that, if you have a forum about knitting, you should expect a diversity of ideology, unless you have strict moderation. So what can you do? Well, very difficult. You can try to find people that agree with you and form a community. But other than that, not much. Unless you manage to somehow get moderation status. But if you can find many people that are like you, then you can create your own forum or your own place. But again, it's very difficult, because Discord itself has various admins that are peculiar in nature. Let's put it like this. So hopefully this video helped this little indie developer. And let me know what you guys think. And I'll see you in the comment section. Take care.